What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in back to the channel. Today we're working on this 30-year-old 240SX. If you guys didn't see the video, we actually picked it up from Oregon and it's sitting in our driveway now. We took it on a 900-mile road trip back home. Luckily it made it, but it does need a lot of work. When I say work, maintenance. This is the first thing you should always be doing before you ever start modifying a car heavily, whether that be suspension, wheels, paint, all that stuff that I want to do. I gotta hold off on that and refrain from doing it because it needs things like spark plugs, motor mounts, oil change, things like that, just basic maintenance. And everybody should actually know how to do this if you're going to be getting into cars. When you're building a car, especially an older one like this, maintenance is key. Now, if this is just a car you're going to be taking to the track, cool, whatever. Throw some stickers on it and call it a day. But if you're going to be dailying it like we are, this car needs some love, and we're going to be doing that today. For the lineup of parts that we got, we're going to be doing the NGK spark plugs. These are the G powers. They're platinum, so they're going to last a while. We also have the NGK blue wires. These are pretty standard, an all-around good, dependable wire. But this is a great budget-oriented spark plug wire set. We run this for all the Miatas, every car that we get. I mean, Japanese, obviously, NGKs. On top of more maintenance, we do have a Bosch fuel filter. This is gonna be super easy to replace, very cheap. I think it was like $8 or something like that, but it just ensures that the fuel system is getting the proper amount of filtration that it needs. More maintenance, we got some castor oil, a Wix filter, and a new Dorman plug with a new O-ring because we don't know if there's a leak or not. This is gonna prevent that. And last but not least, this car has an issue with the engine shaking. There's a shudder and lots of vibration under acceleration. So we got some Anchor OEM replacement motor mounts. Now there are some upgraded options like the Nismo version, which is 30% stiffer than factory. And then there's polyurethane and solid mount. All those are gonna increase the noise harshness and vibration. And we don't want any of that in this car because it is going to be a semi-daily. So we just went with the rubber OEM style. This should be fine for us. But anyways, that's all. That's what we got for today's video. Let's get into it. In the last video, we did do the engine intake and it made some pretty cool noises. We'll leave a link above for you guys to go check that out if you guys want to see it. We're going to be tackling the spark plugs first. All the wires going to come out. Obviously, the valve cover needs some love. We're going to do a paint job on it and replace the gaskets on it. But for now, we're just going to start with the spark plug wires and the spark plugs. I'm no expert on these. They are worn a little bit, but they look good. Nothing to be too worried about, honestly. It's not burning oil, it's not leaning out. Honestly, didn't really even need to replace these. But it's a good thing to replace on this car, so we'll throw the new ones in right now. We're gonna replace our spark plug wires one by one now, just so we don't get our firing order mixed up. All done. All right, so everything looks great now. New wires, new plugs. Off camera, we did just take the car on the road just to see if it fixed the hesitation, and it did not. Lena actually hooked up a timing gun to this, adjusted the distributor, and now the car runs perfect. So that's perfect now that the car is running good. Okay, but on to this now. We're working on the fuel filter. Super tiny. I think this was $8. It's Bosch, so it's a decent brand. If you have an old car, you'll want to replace this because most likely it's still OEM. These are overlooked all the time, and it's just a quick, easy thing to do for a little bit more peace of mind. Let's look at it. All right, so we're just gonna start by undoing this little hose right here, but we don't want to remove it all the way. We actually want it to just be loose because we're gonna take out some of the pressure inside the gas tank. So we'll open up the tank too. I will just leave it like that for now. So I want to twist that off.
Barely any.
Yeah.
Now you probably do it with your hands.
Okay. Oh,
Oh shit.
All right. right, really quickly, we just slid that on. Only lost a little bit of gas.
Now I'm recording.
Just gonna tighten this right back up. Now I'm gonna just push this out of its holder right here. And we got the same deal. We are spilling just a little bit. Let me see if I can grab a cap. So stupid but smart idea. Alina thought of a little piece of the glove and then slide a grommet on top. So hopefully this works. You know what? I think that's that's gonna be just fine. All right, that'll give us just enough time to unbolt all that. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this all off now. All right, look at that. It was bad. It's supposed to be clear. It's black. I bet it's OEM, which is fine, but it's just nice to know that we got nice, clean fuel going into the system. Better gas mileage.
That was like $6 right there.
That was a good joke. This has got to be done fast.
Did you get it?
No. Oh my God.
That's good.
Okay. Now I have to blindly tighten this. So the fuel filter's on. We're gonna tighten up the gas cap real quick, start the car, and make sure that it doesn't leak. I forgot to say you have to turn the key on and off a couple times before you start it. And it's so hot out here. It's 102 today. But in order to prime the fuel system, you do have to turn the key on and off just a couple times. That way it ensures that all the fuel gets throughout the entire system. So we're good now. Well, that's all for today's video. We just got back from a small break. Peak heat right now. Anyway, we are gonna be putting the Anchor engine mounts in. My energy level is so low. So now we gotta jack the car up, get it on jack stands, and then see what we're working with down below. All right, we moved the car into the garage now because it's just way too hot. We're dying out here. Let's get these motor mounts on now. Okay, I suggested that we just throw this car at a shop and let a shop handle these motor mounts, but Alina wants to do it. She's super confident in this. It's very oily. There's a ton of leaks under this car, unfortunately. Eventually, we'll get to all of that stuff. Ooh, you got some smudge on you. But she's insisting that we do this job, so I'm gonna try to walk you guys through it.
So I'm gonna be starting on these engine mounts. Right now I'm on the bottom side. Each motor mount only has 3 bolts, 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. So I'm starting on the bottom side.
Hey, did you break it loose?
Yes.
There you go. All right, leave it like that. That's good. Now we'll do the other side. Good job. Gross hands. Okay, okay, okay. Alina cracked that one loose too. It's all the way right where the 2 hard lines are for the steering rack. That should be good. You don't want to go too many threads. That should be fine. We just want to loosen it now. So, I'll pull your bitch ass out. Yeah. Whoa, that goes over there, okay. Oh, you got dirty hands. Let me just, yeah, baby. Touch tips. Gross. Sploop. Thank you. Let's go. Okay, and once again, we'll get underneath the hood. We're gonna start on the driver's side first, because that's easier. All right, and on the top side of the engine here, we got our flashlight. We are going to be getting the, God, it's so tight. Hold on, I gotta zoom in for this. There's that bolt right there, and then that smaller stud that you can barely see sticking out past that pipe. We're gonna have to get those 2 loosened. We're just gonna get the engine supported from the bottom side so that when we go and loosen the top end of the bolts, there's not gonna be so much tension on the bolts themselves, so that way they'll crack loose a little bit easier. Alright, that was a real pain in the ass, but they are loose. Now we have to go to the passenger side though.
Alright, so the passenger side is much more difficult to get to. It's right there. One.
Ow.
You okay, Sal?
Yeah.
And then the other little nut is hiding behind this wire. Yeah, the oil filter's kind of in the way. I'm gonna see if we could do it without taking that off. So we got it loose. Hell yeah. Now we just have to jack up the engine and remove the mounts.
We removed all the bolts out of the motor mount, and now we're just gonna be jacking up the motor from the bell housing. Hopefully we'll get enough space to get this out of here.
And now we just gotta fish it out. This thing is covered in oil. There it goes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it.
Drop her. Yeah. Ooh, oily.
I mean, can you really tell?
You can't really tell unless they're under load. The engine was rocking back and forth under acceleration and putting a lot of stress right here.
Now we're gonna throw the new one in. So we got the motor mount in, and the two top bolts are bolted in but not super tight because we still want some movement, so that way when we drop the engine we can still have some wiggle room to line everything up.
So now we're gonna do the other side of the car. This is driver's side.
I got it.
Yeah?
Alright, well, I'm gonna take this and put it on.
Okay.
Okay, and the passenger side is in. We got it back in, top and bottom. Now we just have to lower the car onto the bottom studs.
Here we go.
No.
You are so dirty.
Really?
Yes. Tightening up this last one over here and we're good to go. You can go on a test drive and see exactly how this car should feel. A little bit more tightening and it's all good. Okay, so everything's done. We just did a quick oil change off camera. But anyways, the car is ready. Let's get this thing on the ground. Don't mind me without my pants on, but I'm gonna insert footage of what the shifter used to look like when it would rev and like when it would shutter basically. This does not shutter whatsoever. If you're asking why my pants are off, it's because I'm covered in dirt and I don't want to get the seats dirty. So, but anyway, shifter. It doesn't move.
We did it.
Let's go on a test drive. All right, I'm sweating right now. It doesn't feel like the clutch chatters. There's a hesitation that's gone. Chattering is gone. There's no vibration in the shifter.
Wow.
And it feels like a, oh, it feels more direct with like the power. Like it goes when you want it to now. It doesn't lag. Oh, it chirped second. It chirped second. It chirped second gear, putting down more power. So I guess this is a pretty common problem. Timing for hesitation and the motor mounts for the shaky shifter. Obviously, if your transmission mount is worn, that's gonna cause a bad shifter feel as well. I'm happy. I'm very happy. It doesn't feel like the car is gonna fall apart. It does not feel like we need a clutch now. It just feels like a good, solid car now. Okay, I'm gonna let Alina drive right now. I guess we're gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you made it this far in the video, it really means a lot. I hope this video reached the correct audience, the people in the 240 community. I hope they can maybe learn something from this situation that we had. It's not as hard as everyone was saying online. Everyone said, oh, it's gonna take a long time, but it's worth it. But to say that someone can't do it or that it's super hard is not what I like to instill in people. Like, I like to give people confidence to work on cars. Alina did it basically. Like, this was honestly 75% her day. Like, she did most of the work here. So I got to give her props to that. Leave a comment down below for Alina for killing it today. But yeah, anyways, I hope it can help someone out there. So if you guys like the video, leave a like, comment down below what you guys want to see next. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.